welcome back to my channel and welcome to a very special video. I'm joined by Jay McGuiness, who's currently starring, or will be starring in, depending on when this video comes out, Big the Musical at the Dominion Theatre, which is super exciting. I'm sure you're very excited right now. It's coming very close to the show. How's it feel? How's things going?
I feel like we're trying on a new coat, and we've only very recently got in the theatre and we're settling in.
Yeah.
But we've had a lot of fun in rehearsal, and now we're just trying to bring that out in the Dominion, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously had a massive refurbishment as well.
Yeah.
It's looking spick and span, I have to
We've got
say.
some swanky dressing rooms. Everyone's gone back and forth checking how big each other's is.
Oh, I love that. Well, you've got to do it, haven't you? I mean, it is all about being big, so... Obviously, it's such a hugely successful movie.
Yes.
And what's it like to bring that to stage?
Well, really fun because the show was the movie is so funny, so sweet, and I think it was successful for a reason. Fun fact, did you know there were 5 movies that year that studios released that were about a kid in an adult's body?
Wow.
It was the one that succeeded. So it's a really fun film, and then I think just making it into a show is just like so joyous. Like I think the West End has lots of really amazing dramatic thought-provoking pieces right now,
yeah.
And I think it's nice that we can bring like a little bit of that cheeseball fun side, you know?
I mean, it's really family orientated as well. There's kids of all ages in this show, and it's definitely something in there for everybody, I think, of all ages, which is really lovely.
Yeah.
We were just talking about the kids and how enthusiastic they are. What's it like to work with such a big ensemble of children?
It's great. Like I was saying before, like if you come in and you're having a little bit of an off day, 9 times out of 10 their energy is that high that you're like, yay! It's a really nice energy, and I think that what's really nice as well is our cast ages range from. That's been really nice. I think that there's a real good balance of people and energies in the room all the time.
To be elusive, it can also disappear.
The musical's obviously based in New York.
Yes.
So I wanted to ask whether you've been before.
Me and the boys, The Wanted, we did a few gigs there over our years.
Yeah.
And then, I wonder if it was a couple of years after, me and my twin brother had a birthday there, which was just awesome.
Wow.
And we let ourselves get lost and like pick our digs every night. We had the best time. Yeah.
So do you have any kind of favourite locations? Obviously, sadly, the toy store from the movie is actually closed down now, which I'm gutted about because it's iconic.
It's iconic. Yeah, I think they might be putting that into a Macy's now. Ooh. And maybe even one over here, who knows? Okay. We've all been on this actually. Right. But yeah, well, like maybe it was quite tragic, obviously, what happened September the 11th. Yeah. But witnessing where they've had the memorial is absolutely beautiful. And all the names that they have of the victims, they put flowers in them on their birthdays. Oh. And me and my brother, for quite a fun, wild week, that was a moment that I will not forget.
Incredible city, and it's full of memories and happy memories as well as sad. So there's a lot that's happened in that city. I think the best thing about Big is, thinking about being a child again, because he's a child in an adult's body. Right. So all of a sudden it's like role reversal. Yeah. It's like, I think when you feel nostalgic, you think of your childhood and having so much fun, and obviously this show is all about being a kid as an adult, which is quite exciting because all of a sudden you get access to money, you get access to working life. Yeah. I mean, it's a massive toy store, which must be an absolute dream for you as well. Yeah, I mean, physically, just to be able to play around with all the gadgets and stuff is hilarious. But aside from that, being a kid among adults is so fun. Like, how free is it to be a kid and just say whatever the hell you want? Yeah. And the script is hilarious for that. I think a lot of the jokes that will probably whiz over some of the kids watching's heads, and the adults can get a good laugh out. Yeah. Talking about toys. Yes. Do you have a childhood favourite?
Oh, okay. What do I like? Well, we got I've got our brothers. We got a PlayStation 1, and I remember at night we'd be trying to play Crash Bandicoot without our parents hearing us. And then for Christmas, I got a bike one year that I loved, and I remember asking them for a long time for something called Get Set Egyptian Adventure, which you basically would sort of dig out fake Tutankhamun type things and then paint them gold and blue, and I loved that one. Oh. How about you?
I love the, do you remember the little boxes? The
blue and red boxes?
Yeah, it'd be like that. That's going really old school.
Yeah, that's retro actually.
Yeah, and then I also had a Game Boy Color, which obviously you can't
What colour?
It was purple.
I had the green one.
Did you? Oh, I love that. I just think it's just a classic vintage game. Pikachu, it will be some Pokemon.
I played Pokemon Yellow, and I also played Reservoir Rat.
Wow.
And Super Mario, obviously.
Love that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Super Mario's classic, you can't beat that. And Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, it's a great one.
Yeah. Moving back to New York, I've kind of got a bit of a game here.
Okay.
It's more like a kind of trivia.
Okay.
It's called Bigger or Smaller. So, first question is the Empire State Building in New York bigger or smaller than the Rockefeller Center?
Bigger. Am I wrong? It is bigger.
Yes.
Okay.
It is. You got that right. Empire State Building. Only because of the point. I think that is what makes it taller. But when I went to New York and you actually sit on the Rockefeller Center, you feel like you're higher than the Empire State.
Of course.
Because you're looking kind of across the city at it. But then when you go on the Empire State by night, you're like, wait! This is much, this is that much bit higher, but it's really crazy how you can be in one position and then another, and it can change your perspective on it.
Perspective is everything.
And I think that's the same with obviously when you become an adult in the show, how things change, from going from such a small height to a big height.
Yeah.
And one thing that Wendy mentioned in the Sitzprobe, which I think is quite funny, puberty!
Yeah.
Big boys are happy on their own.
Which is something for every boy who goes through it,
And you don't just do that in a gradual fade. There are like some real big awkward moments that happen when you start shaving, when you have your first kiss, all that stuff. When does your voice break? That happens, all of these awkward moments. And
oh my goodness, I hated it.
Horrible.
Spoke. I was like, what am I going to do, Mum? What am I going to do? I sing. I can't sing anymore.
Right.
One of those things for a singer, isn't it? It's where you get kind of a bit panicky. And I think I love the fact that's mentioned as well, because I think for young boys coming to the show who may be also going through a similar thing, in hormones, things like that, I think it's just really great to be able to see someone like you who's, gone from being small on the stage to big and grown up, living your life, the best life you possibly could in New York, really. Next question. This one is definitely to do with the show. Now, obviously, you are known for kind of traipsing along a very famous piano / keyboard, and I was just wondering whether you knew if a piano or keyboard is bigger.
I would say piano is bigger.
Yes, that is correct. I mean, sometimes it depends, I think, on the type.
Definitely get different
but
sizes.
generally speaking, a full-size piano has 88 weighted keys, and a keyboard may typically have anything from 61 to 76 keys.
Right.
So, fact of the day. I thought I'd include that because it's actually quite interesting when you think about the fact that when you're on this giant piano, which I know you're probably going to have in the show, I assume. Are you going to play that live?
We play all the way. We play what is in the movie,
right?
And then obviously it's a musical, so it goes on further. And then they bring in like a demo version, and it gets bigger and bigger. It's a show. What can I say?
I'm quite excited by this because obviously I think they have one at the Science Museum in London. A big one. Obviously not as big as it's going to be on the show.
I want to go because practice on that.
They are so much fun. And Nick Jonas actually did a video to Jealous, where he was playing it and singing it, and it was just so much fun.
What's funny is a lot of people sort of see the big set and think, oh wow, like dancing on the piano must be hard, and think dancers must be good at it. Dancers have got no clue. Musicians are like, okay, I understand how it works.
Another thing that the toys are such a big thing in the show.
Yes.
One thing that I always had as a kid was either some kind of wildlife animal. If it wasn't a wildlife animal, it was a dinosaur. I just generally found that they were my favourite things. I gravitate towards them. Now, if you were to see a tiger or a lion, which one would you think was bigger?
I'm going to go with... Oh, this is hard.
This is a hard one, isn't it?
I'm going to go with... Lion.
Correct!
Is it bigger?
Yeah,
okay,
it is.
good.
No, it's not. So sorry.
Are you joking?
No, I'm not joking.
Damn.
That is where I got you, see, because actually, according to the internet, so if I am wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's correct, tiger and lions are the biggest species of the cat family. An average tiger is 15 to 25% bigger than the lion.
Right, who would know that? I mean, that's
insane,
great,
isn't it? And the second biggest tier species is the Royal Bengal tiger, found in the Indian subcontinent.
Right, yeah. I've seen this really great video, it was not great, but of a tiger flying out of a field towards a man on an elephant.
Yeah.
It's crazy stuff.
So do you have any kind of favourite animals growing up? Do you have any of those special kind of toys that you go to a zoo and buy? Are there any in the show, or do you not know yet?
Let me think. I had a little teddy bear called Little Ted.
Oh.
I think bears are fascinating creatures. I think the variety of bears that we have pandas. I know koala bears aren't bears.
Yeah.
Grizzly bears, and then polar bears. I think they're amazing. And when you see the power that they have, really crazy. But as a kid, I think I really liked monkeys, and I also used to read this Lion King magazine, like the movie. Like
they used to release them, didn't they?
That's right. Yeah.
When the movies would come out, or you'd have the mini books.
And show you how to draw a character. I used to love reading those.
Oh. It's all about nostalgia of the show, and of course being a child again, which is why I love that.
Yeah.
So the next thing I'm going to ask you, obviously Big came out in the 80s,
Yes.
It's all about being a big kid. Do you have a favourite toy or prop featured in the show?
Okay, let me think. Obviously the piano as well, but let me think.
Yeah.
So there's a Captain Carnage Blastmaster, which is a particularly fun gun, but they've removed the batteries because me and the boys were playing with them too much, ruining the scene. So I'm going to go with, in fact, I'm going to show you a picture of one. So there's a scene where people are, we're all deciding to create the funniest toy, right? And obviously adults are a little bit out of touch with children, and so they don't come up with these great ideas. But there's a prototype toy, and this one I just thought was so funny and suspect.
That is hilarious.
I don't know exactly what's going on there. It's basically a Triceratops baseball bat maybe for a tail, and I think there's a unicorn at the end. Anyway, it was completely bizarre. And it's being modeled by Vicky. Completely bizarre, and I particularly enjoyed trying to dissect how that toy worked.
Yeah.
It was just a prototype.
But I think from an imagination perspective, it's something that we kind of forget as adults because we get so consumed by work life and how important it is to do things like that and be creative. I think a child's imagination is incredible, and obviously your character has a massive imagination.
Yeah, well I think that with becoming an adult you learn a set of rules, don't you? How to behave, what to say, what to do, and sometimes that's great. You learn how to behave at funerals and say, I'm sorry for your loss, and say the right thing at the right time. But you also sometimes, I think, forget to be natural and just say, I love you, and all the stuff that kids can often feel free to say.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing about children. When you're around them, they're so excitable and full of life. Yeah. And I think it reminds us ourselves of when we were children. There's nothing happier than childhood, I think. I think that's what's the best thing about the show. I think if you would you agree?
Yeah, I really think so. I think it's you see Josh learn that. Yeah. He's so ready to be an adult. He's so ready to get all the perks of that, and then he realizes the responsibilities and goes, you know what? I'm good with another 5 years of being looked after by mum.
Yeah. I think as well, the music, as I was saying, I've just been lucky enough to watch Sitzprobe, which by the way was incredible. The way it moves you and what makes you want to get up on your feet is incredible. Yeah. Do you have a favourite song at all?
Oh, okay, there are so many. I really like one that's just called McMillan Toys, and it's all the really professional 80s suited people coming in and singing harmonies.
How like this behind us.
Exactly.
That little stash free.
This is my trousers. You can look at these.
It's amazing.
Very silky. I really love that one, but I honestly think I was speaking to my vocal coach, and he's just watched with the orchestra today for the first time, and he said, wow, this is like the West End is really ready for one of these classic, like a big brass section, the strings going, and it's just like a big, big cheese ball fest. And I think, I hope he's right. I think people will really enjoy it. Yeah,
for sure. And obviously, the one thing that he does do in the show is he makes a wish. Yeah. And I think what's incredible about the show is that there is £1 from every single ticket going to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Now, if you could make a wish of any kind, what would it be?
Oh, I mean, okay, I'm going to have to start with the classic world peace.
Absolutely.
I know that it's like the ditzy Mrs. America answer to go.
No, it's true.
But really, I think that we could do with a lot less worrying about each other's differences and start looking out for each other. I think if everyone starts looking out for each other, then we're doing okay.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what I would wish for actually too. I think it's something that's so important, and musicals for me are such an escape, which I think this is what this show is all going to be about. And the final question I wanted to ask you was, why should audiences come and see Big?
I think come and see Big to laugh, to cry, to experience something completely impossible. Yeah. And it's only 2 hours. Just release, and then you can go back to worrying about whatever on earth is on your mind.
Exactly, and I think it's the perfect length for children as well, isn't it? If you're
Yeah.
with families, it's nice that they're able to enjoy that. And,
Yeah, and
it's, you know, it's not too long for that either.
Yeah, and there's nothing, no swears, you know, no kid, they don't learn any foul language from
Exactly, which is perfect.
Mhm.
So Big opens in London on the 10th of September here at the Dominion Theatre for 9 weeks only. So get yourself down here. It's running through to Saturday, November 2nd, so don't miss it. Thanks so much, Jay, and we'll see you all soon.
Thank you.
Bye.